Salad. Yes.
That was the intro.
I worked that out.
Right. What we talk about? Can you tell I'm looking forward to this one?
Yeah. Should we do Saved by the Bell first then?
Yes, please. Oh my god, let's get it out of the way. Go on, you do it. Do the thing.
We watched Saved by the Bell.
Oh, is the place called The Max where they are?
Yeah, the little bar's the Max.
I thought that was a school, and I thought this is a very strange school, but that explains a lot.
It's a very small school,
not a school,
with mostly tables and no classrooms.
So a traditional school,
but no classrooms.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, it's still weird because it is technically the second season, but this is the first episode that's under Saved by the Bell, which is like,
It's fucking awful.
Joe doesn't like it.
It's fucking awful.
What didn't you like about it? Or should we explain the thing?
Go on. What is Saved by the Bell?
Well, it's a bunch of American teenagers in
Twats.
inverted commas because I don't think they were teenagers. Actually, no, I think
Look
they were.
about 30.
I think they genuinely were slightly. They weren't. They were closer to the right age.
Surely the other end of teenagers.
I think they were older. I think they were slightly older, but not that much. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just quickly trying to find out how old they would have been. Well, no.
Who's Casey Kasem, by the way?
I think he is something that we don't understand because one, not American. Two, we weren't born when this started.
You nearly were.
I was very close to being born, but I wasn't.
An American former radio personality and voice actor known for being the host of the Top 40 Countdown show American Top 40 and for playing Shaggy in the cartoon franchise Scooby-Doo. That is quite cool. He doesn't sound anything like him, though. Oh, he's dead. He died on June the 15th, 2014 after having been missing for days.
Okay, I think they were in like 15, 16 when they were filming it. So they were about the right age for once. And it's just what happens to them at school, I guess.
No school has ever had this happen to them, ever. Not even dancing schools have this shit happen to them.
What, having a dance competition?
Yep, doesn't happen.
Not in England, no.
No, not anywhere.
I don't know if you have proof of that.
I do. I don't need proof. I'm just right.
Alright, fair enough. I'll let you. You can have that, I suppose.
God, I'm sure that if I was even if I was 7 watching this, I'd hate it. I'd go, oh, put Power Rangers back on. What is this bollocks we're watching?
So what didn't you like about the?
Everything.
I love how that's overly specific.
It's all the dancing. I really cannot stand people taking dancing seriously because it's like, well, there's more important things to worry about. Let's not worry about it. It's like dancing is more important than making friends in this world, and I don't like that.
Well, they're already friends. They're already a group of friends.
Are they?
Wow.
Are they?
I think.
Because what's his chops? AC Slater's all like, "Oh mate, you can't dance." And he's like, "Ah, bitch, I'm gonna dance." And he's like, "Oh mate, I can't dance." He's like, "Oh shit, well I guess we can't be friends anymore." No.
You know the whole show isn't about dancing.
Is
no,
it
it's just
not?
this one episode.
Really?
This one episode is about dancing.
What do they do for the rest of the time then? So they just go, "Oh, you know that dancing thing that was really important last week? Yeah, ignore that. We'll do something else."
Well, I think it's just like these like situations that occur through whatever, like school and stuff, like how they deal with them and that sort of thing. Do you not even like the weird orchestra class that they had?
That bit, I actually, because I make notes whenever we watch this thing, and I did have this down as Beethoven Bants, and I thought that was quite good. I did laugh at that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's my favourite bit of probably this episode.
The entire series. Yeah. The bit where he just goes, "Oh, I'll be right, Bach." That made me laugh.
Yeah, it's just like, because you know a teacher like that though. It's just like, I'm really funny,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, no. As soon as you leave the room, wait, no, we're just gonna lock you out.
No, screw the teacher. Screw the teacher. I enjoyed that joke. If I'd have made that joke, that would have been it. Right, I don't have to do anything else today. I've made an amazing joke. Yeah, that covers what I like about the show.
Well, that's good. At least there was something.
Oh yeah, I called this episode Strictly High School instead of Strictly Come Dancing. What is it called? What's that dancing show called on BBC?
Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah, that one. It's like that, but Strictly High School. And then another note. This is how bored I. Another note I wrote was Principal Belding, more like Bellend. Ha! That was it. I do quite like that his name is Belding, because that's what a bell does, is ding. Or dong. Oh, and I was really quite worried about how much time was spent in children's changing rooms.
They're never getting changed though. It's always, it cuts to after they've gotten changed.
It sounds too defensive. Worrying about that. Yeah, look, we know it's always in child's changing rooms, but the kids are never getting changed. It's just implied.
Yeah. And Slayer and Screech have a nice cuddle, and then someone comes in and he's like, "Nope, we're not hugging."
Yeah, it's like, that's a bit homophobic. If you want to have a hug with your mate when you're in a changing room, and who knows what happens. See where it leads. Doesn't matter.
But don't see where it
you know,
leads,
this was
because this is a kid's show.
What else have I written? Oh, I did actually really like the dangerously intense flashback that Jessie has when she's like, "No, you can't talk about that," and she goes like, "Oh no, I'm really tall and I keep growing." It was like a Nam flashback. That bit I liked because it was all suddenly, holy shit, this is serious.
Yeah. Like being tall is a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not. You can reach stuff. I mean, you're not that good at hide and seek, but you can get the tin of beans that's on the highest shelf. So swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, they made a lot of tall jokes. I appreciate a good tall joke.
No, I don't. I find it rude and offensive.
That's because we're of different heights.
Yes.
I appreciate them because I'm like, no one can ever say that to me because I'm quite short.
Yep. But who's the real winner there?
Me, because you'll get hit by bombs first if they land on you.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. If a bomb does land on me, I will be hit with it first.
And I will laugh for a split second before it actually explodes. And you'll have just been crushed to death, and I'll actually explode.
Thanks, mate. Right, come on. Why do you like this?
I like it because I watched it when I was a kid.
Is that it?
Nostalgia's a powerful thing.
I liked Christopher Crocodile when I was a kid. It's probably rubbish now.
Yeah, well, don't watch it ever again because it does throw in to like does make me it
Did this
made me
hurt?
question some of my taste when I was younger. I was just like, oh, but I still like some of the music that I liked from then. Am I wrong about that as well?
Does that include the Saved by the Bell theme tune? Because that is the strongest thing this show has going for it. That and Dustin Diamond, who is a world of entertainment in himself.
Yeah. He wrote a book about how...
What is it? He's just stabbed someone.
No, he's violated his probation from where he was convicted for stabbing someone with a concealed weapon.
Oh, it's the least likely thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You watch the shows. Oh no, he's struggling to dance. Cut to today. He stabbed a motherfucker. Oh dear.
The thing I quite like about it is it's all very sort of quite innocent from what I remember of high school, which was just a lot of like fighting and just making fun of each other. But they're just like, we're friends and we have dance competitions. Like, oh, wish my school had been a bit more like that.
But had anyone ever in your school been part of a dance competition, that would be it. Their life would be over. They'd have had the piss ripped out of them for that.
Unless they won.
Sorry. I'm just... I'm reading Dustin Diamond's Wikipedia page. He is also a musician and formed an alternative metal band called Salty the Pocket Knife.
Ironic. That he then got arrested for stabbing someone.
Oh, God. He is the gift that keeps giving.
I think the thing that I dislike about this episode is it undermines how hard dancing is, in that Zach learns how to dance quite well.
In a day.
In like 2 or 3 days. It's just like, it's not that easy, I don't think. Those there are professionals. These guys aren't professionals.
No. Oh dear.
And then it's just like, the dance that wins is just someone hopping around. Just like, fuck off.
I mean, I'm sure it was brilliant back in the day when, but I was just saying this to you that even when I was like 7 or 8, whatever, I still wouldn't have liked this show. It was awful. This might be the worst show we've ever. Oh no, hang on though, because that's definitely still Entourage. But oh my god, it was. How long did this go on for? It was quite a long running show, wasn't it?
Well, not sort of. It ran till 93.
Not sort of.
And
Okay,
then
so
it
that's,
was
4 years.
And then they had the college years when they went to college. And then they had the new class, which is the same thing but with new people, which ran for 7 years.
What's the point in doing that?
Well, because I imagine new people start at schools.
I just don't. I don't get it. I don't even think I'd have bought it when I was younger. Just be like, look, school's not like this. There aren't dancing competitions every left, right, centre. And then every time, the teacher's conducting. He's like, I've just got to nip out for 30 seconds. I'll be back in a minute. And they start playing different stuff and start dancing. It's like, what is going on? It's like Grease, but worse.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I liked it when I was a kid, and I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
Why did you like it? I mean, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that this potentially isn't the best episode.
It's by far and away, it's not like one of the best TV shows I've ever seen.
What one of the better episodes in? What storylines would there be that would interest me, do you think? Or what else do they cover?
I think occasionally they do cover like things like equality a bit, like in a sort of.
Right, fuck off. I've just read the 3rd episode summary. Screech is hit by lightning and afterwards has the ability to see in the future.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a bit weird.
Lisa's father lets her use his credit card as a reward for doing well at school. However, she goes overboard with the spending, and her friends think of ways to make some money to pay it off. She sells kisses. She becomes a prostitute in the school to pay for the stuff that she bought with her dad's credit card. Mind you, this does end in quite a cold-hearted way, right? She sold kisses, her clothes, and got a job. In the end, she confessed, and her father didn't care.
I'm scrolling through trying to find one that I think you might actually not dislike.
This is amazing. Zack decides that Screech is in desperate need of a girlfriend and sets about finding him one. These kids are 12.
I don't think they're 12.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, there's one where they play chess, and Screech is pretty good at chess.
Brilliant. I really like that in the 3rd episode they're like, shit, we need ideas. I know, what? Lightning strike. Yes, great idea. Oh my god, this is terrible. For a class assignment, everyone is put into pairs to act out married life. What?
At least their schools are teaching them important things. Whereas, all I was taught was, like, do some maths. They're learning about real life. Sort of.
Oh my god, what is this noise? It is bollocks. Jesus. Okay, anyway.
Oh, in season 4, they cover drink driving.
Jessie turns to caffeine pills as a result of the pressure with midterm exams and her singing group.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that... I don't think you would like this at all. But it was one of those things that, like, kids don't necessarily value good editing. Or... I don't know, I quite like the wipe fades. It's my favourite kind of transition.
Yeah, but that doesn't help.
I suppose you'd like a wipe fade after
I misread that.
just a transition to nothing for 20 minutes.
I misread this episode summary. Zach sprains his knee before the big basketball game, and while in hospital, learns that Lisa is a part-time candy striper. I read that as a part-time candy stripper.
What's a candy striper?
That's true. That's weirder than a candy stripper because I know what one of them is. A candy striper. Oh, here you go. A female voluntary nurse in a hospital. I'd like to direct you to some... This is for us only, but I'll direct you to some images that are shown when one Googles for this thing. The fuck? What is wrong with this? They're kids. Annual chess competition. Annual ATV race.
I wish my school had an annual
Jesus.
ATV race. That would be fun.
Wait, what? Stacey and her father... Kelly hits an 11-year-old. Oh no, gets hit on by an 11-year-old.
But the guy who runs the Max does magic.
Right, this is... After a failed attempt to buy tickets to the U2 concert, Zach and the gang find $5,000 abandoned at the mall, but things don't work out when the gang is chased by mobsters.
These things could happen.
Oh dear. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think there might be a lot of episodes of this that I haven't actually seen.
The gang visit a mansion for a murder mystery weekend. However, a murder attempt is made on the host. They're supposed to be at school.
You get weekends to do stuff.
Fuck off. After inventing a new kind of spaghetti sauce. Oh my god. Oh god.
Still not as bad as Entourage. Or that Spider-Man thing that we never ended up recording.
A favourite student dies and leaves $10,000 in his will. Where does the student get 10 grand from?
Saving. Could have been a very good saver.
The gang put on a rap version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I've seen that. It's not as bad as it sounds.
This goes between like really strange high school twee, like episodes like the gang forget Screech's birthday, and then they come across a drug deal and find $5,000 and get chased by gangsters. Oh, I'll tell you what. Maybe I've misjudged this show. This could be brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think it takes itself super seriously.
I should think not. Oh my god. I tell you what though, reading these plot summaries has been more entertaining than watching the first show. Please can we move on to Sabrina now?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Do you want to explain the plot of this one?
I'm not sure I can, because it makes less sense than Saved by the Bell. I don't really understand why, but there's a teenage girl called Sabrina who lives with her aunt for complicated plot reasons.
Because she's a witch.
She's a witch. She is told that on her 16th birthday she is a witch. And indeed, yeah, 5 minutes after she turns 16, she's walked in on by her aunts because she's levitating above the bed.
I think that turns out to be just how witches sleep.
Okay, that's quite cool. So yeah, she's a witch. She has magic powers, and then she starts school the next day, and stuff happens.
Well, yeah, I mean, she turns the school bully into a pineapple. Like on her second day at a new school. Like, that's pretty bad.
Right. Okay. Yes. So first, like, they had the levitating 16th birthday thing, and then a huge hit of nostalgia for me because I saw the title sequence again. I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen this for like 15 years or so." So that was quite nice to watch again.
Yeah.
There are some amazing puns and really good jokes in this show that Saved by the Bell could do a lot to learn from. Like, what is it? The guy, the teacher says, "Oh, about the dead frog." He's like, "Oh, I've got to go back to Cadaver Shack." And I was like, that is an amazing name.
Yeah, a really sort of on the nose name. Like, what? I wonder what they sell. Is it dead things? It's probably dead things, isn't it?
I thought it started off as a really good show about like magical powers and being a witch, being sort of metaphorical and allegorical for a lot of teenage anxieties. And there's a bit towards the end of the show where like she has a really bad first day at school, like she gets stuff spilt on her and she pisses off like the cool kids at school. And she goes, "Right, I tell you what, I'm a witch. I'll solve this by going back in time." And there's a really convoluted bit of like, "Oh yeah, you got to go and do this. Go and talk to Penn and Teller, because they'll
fix it. They're king of the wizards."
Yes. I like that. I really like that they're involved in it. So she goes, "Oh yeah, we'll do that." And then like, "Oh yeah, no, can't help you." And I thought, "Oh okay, so this is where you get the moral message of, oh, you got to live with your mistakes and, you know, make the best of a bad situation. Go
send
and
someone to
apologise,"
shout
that sort of
at
thing.
them.
And then it just goes, "Oh, okay, fair enough. So this is where we're going with this." And then they just go, "Nah, we'll just turn back time and turn her into pineapple now." I was like, you can't do that and then just go, "Yeah, ignore it, kids. It'll all be fine.
I think
someone else will sort it all out for you."
I think my favourite bit of the show is where she comes back from turning Libby into a pineapple, and sort of they're just like, "Why did you do that?" And she was like, "Well, or it was all you taught me how to do." Because we're trying to teach her to turn an orange into an apple. And we're just like, pineapple's close enough. And then Hilda just takes it and she's like, "So, shall we just tie up?" And they're just like, "No." It's still murder, even if it's just someone who's been turned into a pineapple.
That is a strange sentence.
Yeah, it is. But what I found is that it's just... In America, you find out you're a witch at 16. But in the UK, you find out at 11 when you get a Hogwarts letter. We have proper magic schools. They just have, like... Just go live with some family who sort of know what they're doing.
Well, clearly the admin hasn't been done yet. There are definitely... There's going to be more than one witch that needs education. But
why not have a school?
I think we're...
In an old castle.
Well, exclusively.
That's what it is. America doesn't have many castles.
Exactly.
And everyone can only learn magic in a castle.
I mean, where else are you going to have a school? Like roadside attractions, world's biggest chair, and witches and wizards school. Doesn't really work. But yeah, I like this show. I used to watch I watched this on the odd occasion because it was very often before or after Power Rangers, and I just watched it while it was there. I don't really understand why she's living with her aunts.
Because her mum's immortal and will turn into a giant ball of wax. if there's like a gap between like 3 years, and her dad lives in a book.
Does that make sense?
It's magic, mate. It literally doesn't have to, because then you just go, magic.
So she's not allowed to see her mother, and there is a rule in the law to explain parental divorce. So this was going back to like, there's, magic is being a metaphor for teenage anxiety.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the divorce. They cover that in the show. She's just like, because her dad explains to her about the whole mum turning into wax thing, and she's like, oh, is that why you broke up? And he's like, no. It's just like this hope of just like, oh, maybe they still love each other. And it's like, no, nah, we don't. I live in a book now. It's kind of weird.
She ran off with a warlock.
I mean, technically, he would have been a warlock.
Yeah, I know. I was watching it thinking that actually it would be kind of cool just to see like all her high school, peers all being dicks to her because she's a bit different. It would have been really cool just to see a full-on revenge show, just like, right, I'm going to sort you out, I'm going to turn you into a newt, and then you're going to have 12 hands.
Well, I mean, it was like in the first episode, all she could do was pineapples.
Yeah.
And that would have been also entertaining, just her coming home with a wheelbarrow full of pineapples, just like something like
these are my
after
classmates.
They've turned back time to fix the first one, just like something happened. Can we do the time thing again? Because I fucked up. I turned everyone into pineapples.
For a spell that was explained to us as being, it's really hard to do, and then you got to convince them, and yada. Actually quite convenient and easy just to go, just turn back time. That's fine. But then the trouble with having that as your solution is you then go, well, for every single problem you have, why not just turn back time? It's the Superman 2 paradox.
Yeah. What is quite good, as the show goes on, it gets a bit more like different things do happen as well. So you get all like the weird stuff, like she has to study for like a witch's license.
I vaguely remember.
Because, like after a year of turning shit into pineapples, they sort of go, maybe we should like make sure we know who you are. And she can ride a Hoover, like a broom.
Oh, that rings a bell.
There's an episode where she turns herself into a boy.
That'd be interesting. That was another thing I wrote down. That it's really good to have a show with the young female lead who actually has an agency about her. Like, she can sort her own shit out and isn't always, well, she is to an extent, but she isn't just relying on a bloke to come and help her out.
Yeah, and they get eventually they get into like after high school and like college and stuff. So she moves out of her aunt's house and goes to live in a shared house. I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they do.
I don't remember, to be honest. I do remember watching the animated series as well as this one. Probably more so. I don't know why. I think perhaps the original live action had finished by the time I started properly watching.
Probably. There is an episode where she goes back and meets Edgar Allan Poe as well. It's a Halloween episode. It's called episode... Oh, fuck. Roman numerals are hard. What's L?
L is... 100?
No, it's 50, isn't it?
That's C.
Is it 50?
Episode 50. Mum versus...
Oh, right. I've worked it out, because it's episode 81. The actual episode is 81.
Why is L 81?
L is 50, because it's LXXX1. But it's called, like, episode 81, The Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I don't really know why, though. It's got nothing to do with Star Wars.
Sabrina gets a job at nearby coffee house watching Halloween. Prepare the Halloween dinner with Edgar Allan Poe, who's one of my favourite writers. That's cool. I might have to watch that one because I've got a lot of affection for this show.
Yeah, I've watched some of, like, they had films and stuff as well.
Did they?
There's like Sabrina films.
But it jumped around networks. It was on ABC, then Warner Brothers, then Showtime, and then back to ABC. It finished in 2003. I didn't realise it was that recent. Oh wow, the viewing figures dropped when it went to Warner Brothers. It was getting, for ABC, 9.3 million, 12.5 million, 12.2 million, 10.2 million. Moves to Warner Brothers, 3.8 million, 3.1 million, 3 million. That's a lot of people not watching it. I don't really remember much of the live action show. I just remember liking Salem because he was sarcastic and a cat who could talk.
Yeah, I like in this that his plan, like, he was just, like, quite open. But he was just like, yeah, no, my plan was to take over the world. Witches Council, not so keen on that idea. Turn me into a cat for 100 years.
Do you remember there was a Game Boy game?
No.
I think my cousin had it. And I played it a lot.
I know
on
that
her
there
Game
were
Boy.
games. But I don't remember. I don't think I ever had one.
Yeah, it was just a Game Boy Color game. It was based on the animated series. But do you know what? I am going to go back and watch that Edgar Allan Poe episode at some point because I love his stuff and him in anything. Like there was a really bad John Cusack movie where he played him called The Raven, and it's basically Edgar Allan Poe meets Seven meets Saw, and it's really, really quite entertaining.
There was a bunch of games.
For Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, there was. I have
Was
played
it?
one of these. I've played A Twitch in Time on the PlayStation because my sister had it.
Yeah,
and
that sounds familiar.
I like games.
Wait, is that your sister who knows nothing about Harry Potter, as evidenced in that quiz that we played?
Yeah. But she does appreciate magic in all varieties.
She threw some dice at me.
You deserved it for not winning.
Well, I did
No, you
win.
didn't, I won.
Like, not yeah, but I beat her.
Everyone
So-
beat her.
Hello, Lisa. It's like, nah, she's not going to listen to this. I can't remember which one of the aunts I remember. Oh, did you know Sabrina the Teenage Witch was based on a comic book?
Yes, I do now.
I didn't know that.
I do now after I've just... It was... Yeah, an Archie comic
An
book.
Archie comic book. Jinx, make a wish.
No.
It was a really good idea for a show, though, wasn't it? Well, comic first, but you know, that sort of, I can't remember what it's called, like magical or fantastical realism. There is a genre where it's, you know, when magical elements spill out into the everyday world, like horns and that sort of thing, that I really, really like.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with, like, the vampire stuff that we watched last week. I quite like when a TV show set in a setting that I can understand, but there's bits, like, so that you could sort of say that, like, this could be happening and you just don't know about it. I quite like that idea of, like, these fantastical things, like, happening amongst us. I think it's why I like superhero stuff so much as well.
Because it's all real world stuff with an element of fantasy
Yeah.
in it. Yeah, that's, I think, my particular favourite genre of fantasy. Hence why I like this so much. And, you know, supernatural. I think this has a lot to do with, like, probably not as explicitly as other stuff, but this was helping me to understand that I like supernatural stuff a lot.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It's just like one of the very early things that I used to watch.
Because I mean, yeah, magic is just another supernatural thing.
Do you remember Ubos?
No.
It was like a Harry Potter animated rip-off show that was shown on CBBC. And it stood for Ultimate Book of Spells.
I think I've heard about it, but
I'll send you a quick... This, you know, behind the curtain. I'm sending you a quick link, but that was it. Cassie, Vern, and Gus and there was one that looked like Malfoy, and then there was one that was kind of Hermione but kind of Harry, and then there was one that was basically Neville.
Oh, right, yeah, I never saw that.
Oh, that was good. That was another sort of, you know, magic show. But it was basically a rip-off of Harry Potter because they went to school with it. And instead of brooms, they had these weird scooters that they stood on.
Yeah. But then, like, I think, like, it helped that I mean, I really like this because I liked Harry Potter anyway. And this, I probably would have started watching this around the same time. And we used to watch it as a family, so that really helps you being forced into liking something. Because this was on when the Skybox only had 10 channels.
Really?
Mm.
I didn't know there was such a time.
Yeah, it had. Well, it might have had more than 10, but the kid. No, it only have 10, I think. And this was on Nickelodeon, so it was like channel 6 or something.
We didn't have Sky at that point. We couldn't afford it.
That's the thing. It was Sky, like the Sky before. Like you still had like all your terrestrial channels, and then there was another channel tuned so you could watch Sky through it. It is still weird. It was before like AV was really a thing. It was just. So you didn't have like 4 of those channels weren't taken up with like your standard 1, 2, 3, 4. There was like Fox and not Fox, like Fox animated. So it was like basically it became Cartoon Network, I think.
Oh yeah. That does sound familiar because I used to go with my nan and she had Sky, and I used to watch that.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Wasn't there a Star Wars animated show on that as well? Clone Wars, the original Clone Wars.
Yes.
I remember because I went away to.
I never watched the original one, like the actual like, because it was
Proper
like the
2D
2D cartoony one rather than the 3D modelled one.
We went on holiday somewhere in Cornwall, and they had Sky, and it was at the time that it was on. And I was like, "Oh my god, we have to stay and watch." So I watched the first episode of it, or like one episode of it. I was like, "That was so good, it's amazing." And then I saw it was on again. I was like, "We have to stay in and watch it." So then I watched it, and for the next 3 times I watched it, when it was on, it was the same episode, and it was gutting.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I watched some of like the Clone Wars, the second run of it, and I was just like, "Who is Ventress?" Like this is a character I have no recollection of, but she was introduced in that first run, and it was picked up by someone else and done more, and they're still doing. No, they're doing Rebels now, which is bridging the gap because Anakin's Vader.
I have watched the first. What's it? Rebels.
I've watched
it is really good.
Bunch of clips from it. Because Ahsoka Tano, who's in, she's Anakin's apprentice in the Clone Wars, but she leaves the Jedi Order, and so goes to do like grey Jedi stuff. But then she fights Vader later on, after he's Vader.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool with her like apprentices, and I'm pretty sure they lose. But she gives him a good hiding, and you get to see Vader under his mask before he's fully like bleh and old.
Bleh.
Yeah, I couldn't think of like a proper descriptive word.
So,
I made a noise.
Bleh.
But I think that about wraps up the 2 TV shows we were talking about, along with several others that we've discussed.
Yeah, we sort of went off on a tangent there, but yeah, Sabrina good, Saved by the Bell fucking awful.
Still not as bad as Entourage. It's like Entourage at school for you, I guess.
Yeah, well, no, because it's not that bad, because Entourage is offensive, and at least Saved by the Bell, it was, it's a bit clean cut, and it's all, oh, look, goody two-shoes and everything, apart from the idea that they steal $5,000.
From some drug dealers.
But at least, yeah, I don't think that Saved by the Bell's heart is in the wrong place, and I think Entourage has a heart of darkness. So
yeah, I keep seeing adverts for the film, and I'm just like, I don't want to see that.
No, it shouldn't be a thing. It's ridiculous. Ugh! You just reminded me how much I hate that show.
Is it going to be in your top 10? When
Yes,
we get there.
definitely. Top 10 most hated. And you know what's going to be second? Saved by the Bell.
I'll just wait. I'm
Saved
sure we'll
by the
find something that
Bell.
you like less.
I'm going to look at the episode thing that we got playing. Nothing on there.
I'm looking at it and I can't see anything that you'll dislike more.
Nope. Shall I quickly write something that I will dislike? I can't think of stuff I don't like. Hang on. The news pilot. That's
The
something we
first-
should do.
the
The pilot
first
episode
ever
of the
news.
news. We should try and find that for like a Christmas special or something.
Actually, saying that, I think you'll have a lot of negative things to say about Arrow because I've already heard you say so many negative
Oh
things.
my god, I've forgotten about the writing in the pilot episode of Arrow. Oh Jesus, I've got to watch that again. Anyway, next episode, what we doing?
We're doing Powers and Lucky Man.
Yeah, or Lucky Man powers.
Yeah.
I sort of think they're one and the same show. What are they about? Are they all about superpowers?
They're two different Marvel properties.
Shocker, we're doing a Marvel thing.
Yeah, but Powers was released through Sony.
The PlayStation Network's first scripted original programming. Oh, directed by David Slade. I like some of his stuff. I think, if he's the right person I'm thinking of. What else has he done?
It's got Eddie Izzard in it.
Oh my god, he's doing American Gods. I didn't know they were making American Gods. But that's... Oh yeah, Hard Candy. That is an amazing film. 30 Days a Night, that's good. Twilight Eclipse. I might have seen that, I don't really remember. But he's done Breaking Bad and Hannibal. American Gods, I didn't know they were making a TV show of that, and now I'm really excited.
Yeah. But yeah, Powers was released on Sony on PlayStation. And Lucky Man was Sky Atlantic over here. So probably some network in America. But that's Lucky Man is like what Stanley wanted, like, so he wanted to like basically base a hero off luck almost. Okay. So that's what Lucky Man is.
Homage Lily's in it, apparently.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, because it's based in London. It's Nesbitt, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. Well, I look forward to watching that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like bits of Lucky Man. It's pretty good. Haven't seen anything of Powers because I don't use my PlayStation ever anymore.
Me neither. Although I will be getting a PlayStation 4 soon, hopefully.
Ooh.
So, yes. Yeah. So that wraps us up for Sabrina and Saved by the Bell. What are we calling this one? Saved by the Teenage
Saved by the
Witch,
Witch.
or Saved by the Witch? Saved by the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, it's too long. Can't be bothered.
Oh, right. It's one more word. Anyway, yes. So that'll do for this episode of the Co-Pilots podcast, number 12.
We're getting there. We are doing well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And on that note, goodbye.
Goodbye.